I just want to say thank you so much for listening to the podcast. And I'd really appreciate if you would also mind subscribing to the podcast. I know a lot of you are listening, but make sure you are subscribing. Feel free to share it and let me know what you think over on Instagram and Facebook at Jeff Gruby. It's about growing as a person. Your best is completely unique to you. All right, thanks everyone for joining us. This is episode 9 of Fuck Perfect. I'm here with Cassie, or do you prefer Cassandra?
Cassie, it's fine.
Okay. And since people probably don't know who you are, if you want to share a truncated version or a cherry-picked version of your story, how you got to where you are today, including health and fitness, go for it.
Okay. So growing up, I was very active, like from an active family. My brother and sister and I always did sports. My dad always made us try every single sport. Like I played hockey, soccer, field hockey. I also was a cheerleader and dancing. So, after school was always like an activity. And I don't know if that was because they wanted us to stay fit or just to have a hobby. Like it probably was, looking back and like knowing like now I'm 30, it was probably a little bit of both. So I was always active. Even in college, I think that's when I started to slip a little bit. You have like, I think freshman 15 is like a totally real thing. Like you go to parties, you get drunk, you start eating shit like that, and you don't even care because you're like, oh, like, it was very hard for me to gain weight like in elementary school, probably because I was so active, but like that once you stop doing all that and like you don't care about like what you're feeding yourself, it really does add up quickly. Like freshman 15 is a real thing. So, there comes a point where it's like, okay, you come home from college, and my family is very blunt. Like if you gain like 5 pounds, they're like, what happened? So like with me, it's like when I gain weight, like you could just tell it's like in my face, like everywhere. So my mom would be like, I think you gained a little bit of weight. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, yeah, I know. Like, but it wasn't like, I'm small anyway. So when I gain like 20 pounds, it's very obvious. So then after college, like I moved to DC, and again, like they have happy hour there at like 12 o'clock. We were doing outside sales. So like you would go like door to door. Once you finish selling all your product, like you're done for the day. So you'd go to happy hour. So again, it's like I wasn't working out at all. Like I think I'd go for a run like once a week, which, from going to the gym 5 days a week and then going for one run, like that's not going to do anything for me.
Right.
So it really hit me that I started to gain weight when my brother was getting married in 2012. And we went dress shopping, and this was when I was, losing weight and before DC. And I got fitted for a size 4, which was fine. That's pretty normal. And then that was in like June, and they got married in November. And I went to go get my dress in November, and they like could not even put it on me. Like it was 4 sizes too small. Like I had to get like a 10. So I went from a size 4 to a 10. And I was like, okay, something needs to happen here. So I never, like, I used to go to the gym, but like I'd always do like cardio. Like I never was like a weightlifter or anything, but I knew like I had to lose weight fast for, my brother's wedding to fit into my size 4 dress. So I hired a trainer, and, he really helped me learn like logistics of lifting. Like, you got to focus on certain things when you're lifting weights. Like you don't just like pick up a dumbbell and like start moving. Like, there's points you have to like squeeze tight up top. Like there's just, it's like a science. So, and with the right diet, he put me on the paleo diet. And so after that, I lost a lot of weight, like in a short period of time, just doing that. And, you start to feel good after that too, and you look good. So once you, if you feel good and you look good, that's just the recipe for health and happiness, I think.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. And in getting ready for your brother's wedding and you started having a personal trainer, have you just kept up the gym since that point?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that was from 2012 up until now, that I just been like a complete fitness fanatic from then.
And you
like
go
I
to the
used to
gym,
think I was.
Did you start going to the gym back then in the morning or have you always done the morning?
No, I would go at night after work. I'd work out with my trainer 3 times a week, and then he would give me he would write down all my workouts. So he's like,
Hmm.
you can do them on your own, like on the days we don't meet. So it would always be after work. I even now, like, I'm not a morning person. I
Hmm.
try so hard, but I do lunch break workouts now. Like I get, an hour and a half at work, so I'll
Nice.
just crush it then.
Nice. Yeah, that's definitely a sweet spot. If you get like right before lunch and you already have most of your day done and you can just get in and get out.
It's
That's
perfect.
awesome. I've never been a morning person either, ever. I've tried to get up and do it, never have until I until I started teaching morning classes. I'm like, oh, I gotta be up at
Oh,
so early now. It's so early, but awesome. So you were always kind of athletic or doing something growing up, and then when you stopped moving, stopped worrying about what you eat, and now that you know what you eat, and I know you have like an air fryer. You've had that for a couple of years, right? So,
yeah, we got
um,
one for our shower.
and like just how insane you look at something. You're like, okay, if I'm gonna eat chicken fingers and they weren't air fried, right? You're like, holy crap, it's that much. Like just the oil and things, like how nutrition can really start to have a huge impact post college because you're not growing at all anymore. Now you're just growing wider. There's no more height to gain.
Uh-huh.
You're just
I
eating,
know.
you're just growing
You're
wider and
not
wider.
yeah.
And it's interesting too, because I know a lot of times before I even started exercising, I thought like, okay, everyone says exercise 3 times a week is fine. Like knowing what I know now, I'm like, no, it's not. 3 times a week is like 5 is truly the minimum.
3 times a
5,
week is not even worth it to me. I know it sounds bad, but it's like, I'm not even
yeah,
gonna do it at all then.
yeah. And plus, you end up feeling so great the rest of the day,
Mhm.
right? It kind of gets you in a better
Exactly.
mental state, gets your hormones and
You also
endorphins kind of.
you also burn more. Like, if you start working out, right, like, when you wake up, you
Mhm.
burn more calories throughout the day. Like, it's proven. Like,
Yeah.
I know, because I know, like, when I wear my watch, I used to work out in the morning, like, last year. I think now that it's winter, it's, like, harder to get up, but I used to just do it, and I would burn way more calories throughout the entire day. It's like I worked out for an hour, like, in the morning versus, like, at night.
Hmm. Absolutely. You're getting everything. Everything's like raring to go fast. Like
Mhm.
I think what it is, I might be like hated on or trolled if I get this wrong, but I think what it is like when you start exercising, your body gets moving and it's already up to speed at the top of its game.
Mhm.
Now you're just kind of like at that level all day long. Like your
Yeah.
metabolism speed up because you're eating and you start eating earlier. And that's why I always say breakfast is one of the most important meals. And it's not even that you eat it early. It's just that whenever you start eating your first meal of the day, when you break your fast,
Mhm.
that's when it's really important to eat a lot of calories. It's actually interesting. I'm not sure if you heard this. There's a major study that was done with, I forget the sample size of people, where they ate the same amount of calories every day for 3 months. And group one ate 50 to 60% of their calories at breakfast, and then huge breakfast, medium lunch, tiny dinner. And the other
Yep.
group ate the reverse. They had a huge dinner. Same calories per day, but the people who ate a bigger breakfast actually lost about 8 more pounds than,
Wow.
so the other group lost 11, and then the group that ate a big breakfast ate like lost 18, 19 pounds because of our body's circadian rhythm. So if you eat a bigger breakfast and smaller dinner, basically a medium-sized lunch, you're actually going to lose more weight. And so people end up, and that's the thing is like the health and fitness industry is always selling you the new thing, and it works because the not that the thing works, but the strategy of selling works because people think they're not the problem. It's not their consistency. It's they just haven't
Mhm.
found the right thing.
Mhm.
And
Like keto?
sure, exactly like that. So like people think, oh, I haven't found the right thing. I'll try this. Oh, I haven't tried it, and they constantly get out of the hot seat. They get this not take responsibility for their actions. And you and I both know if the best way for a long term sustained weight loss is slow and smooth. Just
Yeah,
keep going.
consistent.
And then when you want to have a cheat meal, fuck, I if I want one, I can have one anytime I want. because like 95% or more of the time it's consistency.
Yeah,
So everything
exactly.
works out there. It's just people keep giving up because they have these high expectations, or they go for they quit something cold turkey. Like they're like, I'm gonna start a completely new diet, and then after a few weeks, they're so miserable
I
because
know.
and they can't keep it up because, like you said, make a small change,
Hmm.
right? Go for 1 pound. What does that look like to lose 1 pound? Oh, I'm gonna eat less of the food I eat now, or I'm gonna eat more vegetables on top of that. Like you make these small changes, you build them up over time, you'll get what you want. So
Yeah,
that kind
and
of
like
leads. Go ahead.
that's hard. It's hard to start off like that too, because I just remember when I was trying to lose weight for my brother's wedding, it's like, okay, what do I eat? Like I was so like uneducated on all that
Hmm.
stuff because I feel like now people are realizing like moderation is key. Like I people who tell me they do keto diet, I just look at them and I'm like, You're stupid. Like you can't eat that stuff like bacon forever. Like you're gonna probably die like soon because that's not healthy. And then once
Right.
you eat regularly now, you're probably gonna gain weight. So
Yeah.
I just
And there's
all these
there are definitely going to be people who are like, oh, you can't do keto like that. There's different ways. There's better way. But the idea is like common sense will tell you, if you look at something like, okay, if someone tells you you can eat bacon every day and it's healthy, that's just nuts. Like that's just too much. Like I know that's an extreme version of what keto is. It's definitely not. Uh, if I have any keto listeners, I'm dead. But they're like,
I know I
you're
should have
dead to
said
me.
anything.
You're dead to me. And that's but realistically, the people that I help that come to me, the only people I don't help is if they're like, I want to do keto and that's all I'm looking for. Like I have no
It's just a
advice.
fast solution. Keto is a fast solution to weight loss. Like I get it. Like you
Yeah,
want to lose 10 pounds by next month, do keto, but you're gonna gain it
sure.
right back.
Right, exactly. It's not going to be consistent. If anything, the best thing that people learn from keto is how much sugar they're actually eating. They realize,
No.
oh, I can't eat that much sugar. Oh, okay.
Or
Um,
carbs, yeah.
yeah, and there's a like if you ever have time to look at the actual like the history of keto, how it was made and what happened. It's a wild story, but um, the research that shows the guy who actually started the whole keto thing was hiring these researchers from Stanford and Harvard or just various universities to prove that these fat loss, high fat diets were great. And they did not prove that. After they
Hmm.
did not prove it, he closed down his foundation that he was running. He managed to pay himself $1 million after he closed the foundation. Then he started to market the keto diet because the scientists weren't there. And the scientists that wanted to help him that just didn't ended up proving that when you're eating a high fat diet, you lose water weight and you lose lean body mass,
Hmm.
but you're storing more fat. So when people have a fast weight loss with keto, they're losing water, they're losing muscle, which is very bad.
Hmm.
They're gaining fat. They're also not consuming the recommended daily intake for fiber, and that's
Right.
important as well. So, anyways, like it's just I'm not really pro keto. I think keto is dangerous. If someone was like 300 pounds and they started on keto to do something, and then they realized, oh, you know what? I don't like keto anymore. Cool. Keto can be one of those stepping stones for people, right?
Right.
So this is a great segue into this. In your health specifically, did you where did you aim for perfection? And how are you able to change it to progress?
Like I used to think perfection was just like a certain weight.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, I'm 5'2". So I used to think, oh my God, I need to be like 115 pounds or like 110. Just like I used to think like the less you weigh, like, okay, like you look amazing. But now it's like, I really don't even look. I haven't weighed myself and probably since when I go to the doctors, I'm like, you have to weigh yourself. That's the only time. Now I just like go by pant size. Like if they're too tight, like, okay, like you gotta slow something down. But I've been, very
Awesome.
consistent with my weight for like 5 years now.
That's awesome.
And
And I love that example. Like the ideal weight, the perfect weight. And now you kind of go off of how things fit and how you feel.
yeah, like I
That's
do
a
never I don't look at the scale. Like I
that
just
is
don't care.
that is the not to diss any of my other people that have been on the podcast, but that's probably the best answer I've heard. And I think that what people need to hear, because when if people that are listening to this either follow me on social media, when I go to the doctors, the nurse, because obviously my shirt's on and everything, the nurse is like, okay, based on your weight, you're overweight. And I'm like, no, no, I'm not.
Have you seen my
it's like
package?
it's like my the my weight and my height. Yes, BMI can be helpful on some level, but if you look at my weight and you're like, but you have to look at body fat, right? Like, so
Hmm.
muscle doesn't weigh more than fat, but muscle takes up less room, right? So
Right.
you'll be thinner. So yeah, when I go to the weight, sometimes the nurses will be like, "Oh, you're overweight." I'm like, "Nope, nope, that's
Yeah,
not
that's
happening."
why I just don't do it because it's like, people always want to be a certain weight. Like, okay,
Hmm.
so if you keep weighing yourself, and first of all, your weight fluctuates. Like, I'm probably not going to be the same weight tomorrow morning. Like, it just
Right.
depends. Like, have I had enough water today? Like, am I going to eat
Yeah.
a big meal later? It's cheat day. I don't know. So
Yeah.
I
If
just,
if I eat pizza or anything salty, if I eat something salty, I will gain not real pounds, but if I
right,
step on the scale, it's gonna be like, oh
water
shit,
retention.
water retention. I'm like 6 pounds heavier now, and
Mm-hmm.
you
And
know,
it's not real.
yeah, it's not you didn't eat, because a pound is 3,500 calories. A real pound, that'd be
Mm-hmm.
like obviously over 18,000 calories. I don't know. Fuck, that's a lot. It's more than the Rock eats in a day.
I
So
know.
there's no way that I ate 18,000 plus calories.
Exactly.
Yeah, and sometimes you just kind of like you could actually gain weight from lack of sleep, right? You can gain weight
Right.
from lack of sleep. You could get not drinking water or drinking too much
Hmm.
alcohol,
Drinking
anything.
water is a big thing.
Yeah, water is huge. Obviously, you can weigh yourself and then pee, then you're like, oh, I'm down a pound and a half.
Yeah, that's why like the scale will literally drive you crazy. Like
Yeah.
even if you're trying to lose weight, it's like, oh, like, well, I weighed less yesterday. Like, oh, I think I gained weight. Let's starve today. Like that's just not the way to do things in my
Yeah.
eyes. Like, so
I think it'd be a cool experiment to have scale, like a digital scale, and when people step on it, it says a compliment on the screen instead of a number. It's like you're doing
yeah,
great, and then that's it.
like you can log it. Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't actually give you a number.
Yeah.
So what
Yeah,
are you
that'd be
working
helpful.
what are you working on now? What kind of goals or health or fitness goals are you working on now, or just life goals?
So, well, one of my big ones right now is I'm running a half marathon in May with my cousin. We signed up
Okay.
for it thinking it was a good idea.
Yeah.
I'm not even a big runner. I'm more of a weightlifter, hot yoga. I've been
Mm-hmm.
doing spin now because I've read if you're training for a half marathon, spin is really good for you. Um, so that's my goal now,
So it's 13 miles, right? 13 point something miles.
13.1. So
13.1.
yep. So I've been trying to run. I have a schedule, so it's like 2 miles Monday, 3 miles Tuesday, um, cross training Wednesday, Thursday, and then you do one. So my long runs are on Sunday. So
Yeah.
um,
So today.
yeah, yeah, but we might have to reschedule today because today's my rest day too. I'm like all over the place. I took a break from running because my knee started to get a little sore because I'm doing all the treadmill running
Yeah.
because it's freezing out. So yeah, maybe we'll do the long run tomorrow. But I'm kind of procrastinating. I'm like, oh, I have till May.
Yeah. Well, it's only what 3 months away,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I mean, technically the schedule starts March for training, but I kind of just wanted to see like what I can do. So
Mm-hmm.
so far the longest I've ran was 6 miles. So I'm like, I'll take it.
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Six and 6 miles is not always fun. It's like
Mm-mm. Because
after like two and a half, you're like, okay, this is this is
well, so the first mile is like fine, but from mile 1 to 2, it is just like it sucks. It's brutal. It's like I'm bored. But then like after mile 3, like it flies by. Weird.
Yeah. You're used to it. You're like, okay, this sucks, I know, but I'm just gonna keep going.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm waiting for spring because I really want to train outside. But I used to be a pretty avid runner. Like I used to run I used to run 10 miles like once a month when I was younger. So, and by younger, I mean
Nice.
like 10 years ago. But we'll see. We'll see where this takes me. But other than that, like just staying consistent, building more muscle mass, that's always my goal.
What's your go-to treat meal then?
Oh my God. I love it depends because sometimes I have a sweet tooth and other times I just want like salt. Like even if
Uh-huh.
it's like a pizza, a burger and french fries. Um, but I would say pizza. I could eat like a whole large pizza on my cheat day.
Yeah. I don't
But
know. I
then
don't know what
another
it is
thing,
about pizza, but you can just eat so much.
but maybe you can relate to this, but because I eat healthy like, 85% of the time,
Yeah.
when you do eat like crap, I just feel so sick.
Oh
Like
yeah.
I had ice cream last week
Mm-hmm.
and I just like I felt so sick after that.
Yeah, and when your body's used to like not dealing with getting rid of crap from your body all the time, and you do like dairy is one of the trickier ones because dairy can really mess up your just digestive system anyways. But if I eat too much, like say pizza or just something bad, I'm just like, not only do I look at the rest of the day like, holy crap, I ate that much already, or I'll be hungry, or the next day I'll just feel bad. Or what's worse is my workouts the next day suck so bad, and then I
Yeah.
get upset at the how much I ate, right? Um,
Mhm.
and it's tricky. And I'm not, quick question: do you think that you crave treat meals more so on rest days than workout days?
No.
No, it's workout days
No.
you treat meals.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I work out like 6 days a week. I'll be honest. I
Hmm.
know people are like, "Oh, you should take like 2 rest days." I'm like, I don't really want to though. Like
I don't even want to take one rest day. Fucking
I know
Kenzie.
I'm forcing myself
Yeah.
today to not do anything. Like I want to go run after this, but I'm like, no, like you need to. Like I did legs yesterday, so like I should rest.
Yeah.
So I'm like literally forcing myself today. But I don't want to seem like a fitness psycho on here. But
No,
I
it's
like
fine.
force myself to take one. But I think because I work out so much that I actually crave more sugar like at night,
Hmm.
like any day.
Yeah. Yeah. If I can just get in front of the TV or in bed without a treat, like and it's a super win because I'm gonna make great progress.
Yeah.
But
I like
typically,
reward myself.
typically on rest days, I look forward to it like a treat meal like on in the morning, like breakfast time. And I'm craving like bad food all day long. If I'm working out though, I don't crave bad food. So I guess we're opposites there.
Yeah, like even on my non-workout days, like I'm not even as hungry.
Hmm.
So it just depends. But I definitely like I'm gonna have a cheat meal tonight just because it's like, I've been so good all week that
Yeah.
you kind of have to like spike, your metabolism and, trick your body almost. But
Hello.
I know. This is Enzo. What are you doing? But yeah, that's definitely forcing myself not to do anything today.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for being on the
You're
podcast. I'm
welcome.
super excited.
Anytime.
Yeah.